Another quarterback problem that's brewing is Kyler Murray. He's frustrated with the Arizona Cardinals right now. Chris Mortensen reported Murray is described as self-centered and a finger pointer, per source. Murray is frustrated with the franchise and was embarrassed by his playoff loss to the Rams and thinks he's been framed as the scapegoat. And Mike Garafolo said they're looking for Kyler Murray to step forward in a number of areas. Maturity is the main one they talk about.
I'm wondering about the other areas that they're talking about, though.
I think of maturity, leadership. He's on his phone during halftime, was reported. He calls his girlfriend during halftime. And there was also a report by Mike Garafolo that came out as well that when they were getting smoked by the Rams, he refused to check back in the game in the fourth quarter. He refused to. You're the Kyler Murray guy on this panel. You think he's an elite quarterback. You rank him up there with the top guys.
Yes,
you both guys are Kyler Murray guys.
I do.
So what do you feel about this report? Are you still all in on Kyler?
I am all in on Kyler. This report definitely does hurt to hear, as I do want my quarterback to be a leader in the locker room. And up until this point, I've thought that he was a leader, to the point where DeAndre Hopkins shows him that respect of being able to actually criticize Hopkins and the things that he's doing on the field when he's doing something incorrect. That takes a certain level of respect, especially when you're getting Hopkins, who has been top 2, top 3 for a majority of his career. For him to allow that, it speaks volumes to how great Kyler is already this early into his career. But I actually was speaking to Joel when we came in a little bit earlier. Are there great quarterbacks right now that aren't leaders of their teams? The only one that immediately comes to mind is Aaron Rodgers. But even still, that's what the media is showing us. In the locker room, I'm sure people talk about Aaron Rodgers being one of the best leaders in the clubhouse, but from a face value, the only one that immediately came to my mind was Aaron Rodgers. A lot of these other quarterbacks are great leaders. Derek Carr, if anything, he's an amazing leader. Matthew Stafford, amazing leader. Tom Brady, amazing leader. Patrick Mahomes, amazing leader. Josh Allen, amazing leader. Joe Burrow, amazing leader.
Even if you don't want to look at the
Lamar
best
Jackson.
of the best, Jalen Hurts, someone who isn't the most talented quarterback, but he gets praised for his intangibles.
I was going to save that for your shit, because congratulations, sir.
That was a good tweet.
That was really cool.
That was a good tweet.
Well, wait till he goes.
You can say it if you want.
You sure?
Yeah,
no, Joel tweeted that if Kyler Murray had he wishes that Kyler Murray had Jalen Hurts' leadership skills.
The tweet was, if Kyler Murray had Jalen Hurts' leadership skills, he's a top 5 quarterback.
See, but even still with that in mind, I do believe that he has the skill set, all the intangibles to still be a top 5 quarterback. Yeah. He has an amazing arm. He's one of the most accurate passers in the league. He's one of the more skilled mobile quarterbacks in the league. In my opinion, he is the best mobile quarterback, given the fact that he is the most accurate on top of being one of the most productive rushing quarterbacks. Let me take it easy. Josh Allen. I think because Josh Allen, I grew up with Lamar, Kyler Murray, as those are the 3 elite mobile quarterbacks. Because Josh Allen has earned that respect.
Sure, definitely.
I think that even still with that in mind, I'm still all in on Kyler. And if you're Arizona, you should be all in on Kyler, because there's been one real reason why this team has been on an upward trend, and it's because of Kyler Murray. It would be a huge mistake if you decide to move off of him, or his rookie contract's up and you want to trade him for capital. You would get a bunch, but at the same time, why would you trade the biggest positive of your team that you've had in years, especially at the quarterback position? No disrespect to Carson Palmer. He did a solid job, but Kyler Murray, talent-wise, is at a whole different level, in my opinion.
Yep, for sure.
I think injuries really hindered this team. We saw Hopkins go out, and they really had to rely on A.J. Green, Christian Kirk's a solid number 2 option. He's not a number 1. A.J. Green is not a number 1 at this point in time. Their number 1 option was Zach Ertz. He's, at this point in time, not a number 1 option. James Conner was excellent. He ran out of juice as well. Chase Edmonds was hurt for a majority of the year. When he came back, didn't have the same role that he had because Conner was so dominant. Defensively, J.J. Watt was hurt, came back for the last game, but it was too little. Chandler Jones, another one. Their secondary is not that great as is. there's a lot more than just Kyler Murray. And if you want to really hone in on Kyler Murray, in my opinion, that's a mistake. You have so many other worries you have so many other things that you should worry about, in my opinion. Kyler Murray is not one of those. So to really hone in and make this report on Kyler Murray is a little irresponsible, in my opinion.
This isn't the first time we've heard this about Kyler. I heard the same thing last offseason. I don't remember the exact reporter who reported it, but I remember hearing last season that, maybe it was the podcast I was listening to, that there's people in the Cardinals organization who had questioned his leadership, and who really knows how much of that is true. There's been plenty of reporters came out and said the whole like calling his girlfriend at halftime thing is nonsense. And I think if you're a Cardinals fan or just a fan of the NFL, you just throw out this report. Because the one thing that matters in this league is, do you have an elite quarterback? If you have an elite quarterback, you could go and win a Super Bowl. You could go to the playoffs. And I think that's what we saw. Drew spoke on it. They had injury after injury, offense and defense. Cliff Kingsbury coming into this year was on the hot seat. We didn't even know if he was going to make it through the entire season. But because of how great Kyler Murray is, he was able to make it through the season. Week 8, Week 10, they were one of the best teams in the league. They were undefeated, 7-0. He goes down, and we kind of saw 2 years in a row now where Kyler Murray has gone injured with lower body injuries and has come back and just hasn't been the same guy. That's what worries me the most. So if I'm a Cardinals fan, I think the main priority is making sure or figuring out a way that he stays healthy for the entire season, because you can't have it 3 years in a row that he falls off in the second half. When it comes to this report of him being disgruntled and upset, I understand. I mean, they got blown out. They got embarrassed in the playoffs, his first playoff game. But, I mean, Josh Allen didn't have a good first playoff game. We saw him lateral, and do some really crazy stuff. And he ended up obviously going on to being a top 3 quarterback in the league at this point.
He almost won the game, though.
I know, but even still, he didn't have a great game. So it's okay if he's upset with the Cardinals, but I also look like they made moves. They went and traded for DeAndre Hopkins. They brought in J.J. Watt.
Yep.
They were making changes to the team. Brought in Rodney Hudson and upgraded the offensive line. Brought in James Conner. So they made these moves to show Kyler, we know we have something special, and we want to capitalize it on it now while you're still on your rookie contract, and we can make all of these moves happen. At the end of the day, Kyler's elite. He's, my opinion, if you want to talk just talent-wise, he's arguably top 5.
So what
strictly
happened,
talent.
What happened last show? Why didn't you name Kyler as a lead?
He's not there. He's borderline. When he's healthy, sure, but we talked about this, that it's 2
So is he a
years
lead
in
or
a
no?
row.
Yes or no?
When he's healthy, yeah.
So Stafford, no.
No.
Interesting.
I think Kyler elite is better than Stafford. Kyler healthy is better than Stafford.
You think?
Do you
What do
disagree?
you think?
You're pulling out the right heartstrings.
I know. Those are your two guys.
Whew.
Like, I see Kyler and Stafford on the TV.
It's the mobility for me, man.
Kyler could do more.
Yeah.
Because he can make all the
but
throws Stafford
No,
could.
he cannot.
I think
no, he
can.
cannot.
His
No,
arm
he
strength
cannot.
is nuts.
No, but he can't make the same throws.
Maybe not the no-look ones, but all the regular, like, okay, sure, if he can't make a no-look and he's arm angle-wise, he doesn't do as much as Stafford does. But I think,
Who has more arm talent?
can I bring in throw on the run and from his left to his right, Kyler?
That's
If you want to say
a good
straight in the
point.
pocket, it's pretty close, but Kyler still has a great arm.
In the pocket, it's Matthew Stafford. The scrambling outside the pocket and being able to make throws, you got me.
Yes.
Because Kyler Murray is unbelievable.
Yes, for sure. So you have an elite quarterback, and the Cardinals don't have a choice. You're going to have to figure it out. I don't really care if he's not the best leader. J.J. Watt's a phenomenal leader. DeAndre Hopkins has been around the league. He's a leader. So while, to Drew's point, I would like him to be a leader, I don't think it's the end of the world if he doesn't get along with everybody and he's not vocal.
I think it is. For a quarterback,
Agenda pusher.
A quarterback needs to be the leader of the team. It's as simple as that. I can't think of a quarterback, an elite one, who's not a leader.
He's also
Everyone
like
are
23,
leaders.
24.
He's
stupid
24.
young. Yeah.
He is young. You have to be a leader at the quarterback position. There's no other way to put it. With that being said, what do I think of these reports? I think it's pretty telling. I don't think, for me at least, it's surprising. I never thought Kyler was the best leader. I never thought he was.
Where did this come from? Other
What do
than
you
this
mean, where did it
report,
come
have
from?
we ever questioned his leadership?
I heard it last offseason.
The other
Really?
day,
Yeah.
I've never heard this.
the other
Very well
day
said,
we were
for sure.
talking about Burrow versus Kyler, and I put Burrow over him because of leadership.
But I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that.
No,
'cause-
that's what I'm saying. It's not coming out of nowhere from me, at least.
no, but to say that you always have questioned his leadership,
I
though?
have questioned it, and
Ugh.
I'll tell you the moment I questioned it was the first moment I questioned it was when he was doing the pre-draft interviews and he was going on networks. He went on Dan Patrick's show, and if you go look back at his pre-draft interview from Dan Patrick, I will say he didn't ask the best questions. He asked him about whether he's going to commit to the NFL or MLB. That was the big thing at the time. And the interview was awkward. It was very awkward. I sensed the awkwardness just watching it. Like, why isn't this guy saving grace, or he's making it more awkward. The questions weren't the best, and I understand he probably didn't want to talk about that at the time. But if you go back and watch the interview, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Explain it to me. I'm curious.
Dan Patrick basically asked him, are you going to commit to the football or baseball? And Kyler gave one-word answers, and when Dan Patrick would ask another question, Kyler was just kind of like, and it would just be silence for like 10 seconds. Like, it was one of the more awkward interviews I've ever seen.
Okay.
That was when I was like, I'm not in love with this guy's, moxie and how he carries himself. Because other quarterbacks, I believe, just the elite ones, I think they go into that interview, and even if they don't want to be asked those questions, they still answer it in a professional manner. The playoff loss was embarrassing. What I'll say about that, though, is, the day after I came on the show and I said, what was he supposed to do? I don't think he was in a position to succeed in that game. He also did miss a lot of plays, though. I'm not going to just, coddle him. He missed some plays. There were some plays to be made there, and he just wasn't decisive enough. That being said, I do think these reports are coming at a pretty telling time because contract extension talks are starting to heat up.
You give him whatever he wants.
Blank check.
That's the problem. Arizona doesn't want to give him whatever he wants. They want to negotiate. And we saw this same thing spurred up with Lamar last season, or this past offseason, where his contract extension talks came out. This is just an attempt, I believe, to lower his value so they don't have to pay him market value as one of the better quarterbacks in the entire NFL. That being said, I think the problem with Arizona is less Kyler Murray's leadership and more Cliff Kingsbury's. There's a track record with him not succeeding in the second half of the season. Arizona, like I said, Cliff is on the hot seat this year for me.
Yeah. If
he doesn't win a playoff game this year, he's out. And I'm bringing in an experienced coach, maybe even a Brian Flores. Brian Flores, I think in Arizona makes a lot of sense just from a leadership standpoint and him finally knowing I got a quarterback that can win. No disrespect to Tua, but
what do you mean that can finally win?
I think
that's where your mistake is, especially when it comes to Tua. That's all he does.
I think Brian Flores looks at Arizona as like Kyler Murray can win me a Super Bowl. I don't think he definitely doesn't do that with Tua. And
what did Brian Flores do for Tua? Exactly.
Exceeded expectations every single season he was in Miami.
Tua did that.
Okay. The defense outperformed.
Agreed.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
I don't know if Tua exceeded expectations.
Dude, 16 touchdowns and 10 picks this year.
He missed time as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
He would have had a Matt Ryan stat line this season.
I don't want to make this about
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't
that be something?
Don't even compare him to a former MVP.
I'm just saying that's what would have happened. He would have had the same stat line as Matt Ryan, who he just holds to Derek Carr's pedestal.
Just stop it.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just telling you facts.
No, you're not. You're telling me Tua versus Matt Ryan's not even close. It's really not.
I'm saying stats-wise, it would have been close. I really would have been chatting.
Carson Wentz.
Because I'm telling you right now also, if Tua plays these games, playoffs, guaranteed.
Carson Wentz had 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. Is he better than Matt Ryan?
At this point in time, it's debatable.
Stats aren't everything, mister. I do think Cliff gets one more year, and then he's out as coach if he doesn't win a playoff game. I think that's more the Cardinals' problem. And they need another receiver outside of DeAndre Hopkins. The scheme is too Hopkins reliant. The offensive line is older. They need to get younger on the offensive line. And they need to get a corner. Yeah, if I'm Arizona, I'm signing J.C. Jackson.
The secondary
I'm doing that.
And one thing too, Kyler Murray told the GM, whoever it was, that he wanted Rondale Moore. He's like, get me that guy in the second round. They drafted him, and he didn't really turn out to be much.
He's 5'6" receiver.
Exactly. He's a very small guy. But, they
Kyler
have
Murray
shown...
can relate.
Yeah, that's true. He's got like 4 inches on him, though, still. Like, I think they have shown enough to Kyler to be like, yo, you're our guy. We'll do anything for you. We'll draft who you want. Bring in the free agents to help you succeed. Now it's just a matter of.
They ran out of juice, though. When they all were together, they were dominant. 8-1.
What happened?
They ran out of juice.
Hurt?
But they still were winning when he got hurt. So that I don't want to hear.
Yeah, but
It's
his numbers,
other guys that
his
fell.
numbers took a dip. They did.
Because the other guys fell apart.
The most
D-Hop
telling
gone.
game-
But it's 2 years in a row where he's gotten hurt and second half numbers have gone down.
The most telling game was the one versus the Lions. That was a gimme win, and they lost. That's the most telling game was that game. They didn't look prepared in that game. And Pally actually, it was your birthday party. He actually was talking about how that's a trap game and like the Lions could win that. And I was like, fuck no, it's not happening. And now they
Pally's
won.
a smart dude. When it comes to football specifically, he
And
is
I was watching
very
like,
smart.
damn, bro, they really fucking lost. But
Shout
I
out to
think
MVP, 100%.
I think it's more Cliff's problem. They need to upgrade this roster for sure. I'm also not in love with Kyler Murray's leadership, and I stand on that. I'm really not. I think he has the talent. You're right, but he just lacks in other areas.
But what do you do?
That's a personality thing. There's nothing to fix.
I was gonna say, like, what option do you have if you're the Cardinals?
All right, do you
this
have
is
any
my guy.
reservations on his talent?
No.
All right, so your only reservations are on his leadership.
Yes.
And that's really halting you from putting him in elite category.
Also, that I don't also think he has the production to be in the elite category. I don't think so.
Production?
No.
Last season?
No.
Where he had almost
26 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's not Josh Allen. That's not Aaron Rodgers. That's not Patrick Mahomes.
Before he got hurt, he was
That's not
MVP level.
That's not Joe Burrow.
Before he got hurt, he was MVP level.
But he got hurt. That happened.
100%.
Okay.
That's been my biggest gripe with
he's
him.
not, to me, he's not Lamar either. I think Lamar's better. I know you think Kyler's
I'm
better.
going to throw up.
Lamar Jackson is better than Kyler Murray. Let's give an MVP
He
some
had
respect.
last season 11 rushing touchdowns, 819 yards. He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 39-71, had 26 touchdowns, 12 INTs. So he counted for 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
He's a freak.
In total yards, almost 5,000.
Yeah, he's just a smaller
Can
guy.
we
so
can we can we
injuries-
put some respect on his name? Because if we're talking production, what more do you want?
Yeah, it's hard to. Let's put damn.
Please, come on,
And
stop
he missed
it.
a couple games, right?
No, last year he played all of them.
Oh, he just got hurt in that
You-
Thursday night game.
He just played hurt.
The
a good
stats you
portion.
had are wrong, bro.
What are you talking about? I'm on Pro Reference.
He had 423 yards rushing this past season.
Oh, I said last
2020.
season.
Oh, you talking about 2020? I'm sorry, I'm on this past
Okay,
season.
but I said last season he got hurt this year.
I mean, you're right. In 2020, he was awesome. He was amazing.
You're saying production, he didn't have it. I just there
Even if
it
you
is.
look
But
at the
this
per
past
game
year,
stats, I'm sure
I
he's
go
amazing.
year by year.
I'm sure you do.
I do.
Sure you do.
I
It's
go.
a year by year league
It is a year by year league.
sure.
Is it not?
for sure.
Did you have Cooper Kupp number one last year?
Duh.
When okay,
I didn't.
okay.
I didn't have Alden Tate above Jamar Chase. I'll tell you that.
I didn't have him above Jamar Chase either. I don't know what you're talking about. We saw the clip together. For you guys to assume I said that is ridiculous.
I don't see why Arden Tate can't play as well as Jamar Chase.
It was a hyperbole that you exaggerated.
Oh my god. No, we went on to like a 15-minute debate after that on it.
No, we didn't. Not on that.
No, I'm
That
telling
what
no,
your
that changed the whole
explanation
vibe of that show.
The preseason Jamar Chase. That's like saying like Hoodie Mello is better than Michael Jordan. Like this weird like little, I don't know what you would call it.
It was a specific thing.
I was gonna say like this very specific time where like Hoodie Mello is better than Michael Jordan, saying like
All I
preseason
said-
Jamar Chase, Alden Tate is better.
bro, all I said was that if he doesn't catch the ball, why can't Alden Tate do that? That's exactly what I was saying.
Bro just throws out his entire college production, his 5th overall draft capital, and be like, nope, can't catch in the preseason.